and thank you for joining me on the show today. This is the Now Talks, a collection of inspiring personal stories and leadership lessons from some of the world's most iconic leaders. It is the weekly podcast for women in leadership, brought to you by Nations of Women. My name is Dr. Tina Allton, and I'm your host for today and the coming weeks. Welcome again to the Now Woman podcast. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I'm really, really excited because we are officially in the week before Christmas. So, as we are entering into this week before Christmas, uh, it's quite it's quite true, and normal and perfectly okay to acknowledge the fact that it is a time filled with diverse emotions. And whilst the festive season is often seen as joyful, joyous, it's also very important that we address the fact that it also can bring lots of stress for many people, loneliness, and for some, even a sense of great overwhelm. But fear not, I've got your back because today I want us to focus on 6 key points that will help us to prepare our hearts, our minds, as far as addressing these challenges whilst finding hope and strength for what is ahead. So, in no particular order, I want us to spend some time just really looking at how can we embrace, the emotional spectrum that we're most likely to experience, or perhaps somebody we know or other people around us might be experiencing. How are you also going to balance the Christmas period with looking after yourself, self-care? How can we honor the memories of those that we have lost? And also, how do we simplify the authentic joy that is really what all the season is about? It's about, the joy for me as a person of faith. It's about the joy of the Lord. But I mean, to be honest, you don't have to share my faith in order to feel joyful, either during this Christmas period or at any other point in time. How do we connect? How do we reach out? Because it's a season where I guess you come face to face with some of the relationships that have been estranged. So how do you work on that? How do you deal with that? And then finally, we're going to be also looking at how do we prepare for a hopeful future ahead of us. So I hope you're ready and you're buckled up. So get your tea, get your coffee, get your milk, and get your water, or get your juice, and let's get going. So, number one is embracing the emotional spectrum. I think the holiday season can stir a mix of feelings from excitement to stress to sadness to joy. And it's very, very much okay to recognize that, you know what, I am feeling XYZ. And you can accept that feeling and think, you know what, I'm feeling sad. I don't think there's anything wrong with recognizing and accepting that I'm feeling sad, because as human beings, we're created to feel emotions. And it's when we hide our emotions or push them away, that's when they have the potential to overwhelm us, potential to overcome us, and potential to really derail us and knock us off our feet. So it's very normal, it's very natural to be able to um, recognize an emotion that you're going through and actually naming your emotions. I mean, there is a lot of research to prove that. And as a psychologist, I believe that what I studied, still stands, and that is that we're human beings made to have emotions. And there's no shame in recognizing or naming your emotion that you are feeling. So, how can I take action on that? Identify, acknowledge emotions about Christmas or about New Year or about the specific week in which we're in, the week before Christmas. What emotions are you feeling? What feelings are you having? I think it's important to address the fact though that identifying your emotion is not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It's what you do with emotions that really is what actually matters. It's what knocks you off, makes you stuck, or completely steals your joy. So great action when you're somebody that perhaps finds this week a little stressful, a little sad is, just name the emotion, name the feeling that you have, acknowledge it. Yep, accept it. You know what? I feel sad or I feel overwhelmed or I feel stressed or whatever it is, but don't own it. Okay, don't own it. And a practical tip is you can sit down and you can write in terms of understanding your feelings, right? What is it that you're feeling sad about? What is it that you're being emotional about? What is it that you're feeling overwhelmed about or stressed about? And remember, it's not yours to keep. So don't be overcome by the feeling or the emotion that you would have when you're overcome by that, then you've lost your power because then that emotion or that feeling will then control you. Okay. So journaling is a great, 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 great practical tip or application in terms of dealing with the emotions or the feelings that come up. Now let's look at balancing festivity and self-care. And if you're like myself, I think we have 18, no, 17. I think it's 17 or 18. If everybody turns out 17 or 18 family members that we're hosting. And of course, they're not all arriving on the same day, they arrive on different days. And even the thought of it sometimes can overwhelm you, can make you feel, right? So how do you balance the demands of preparing for the Christmas holidays, and also your personal well-being? It can be challenging. That is the truth, but it's crucial, very, very crucial to find a harmony between celebrating and also taking care of yourself. How is that? Or how can you do that? Set boundaries for yourself so that you don't burn out. Ask for help. You don't have to be a superwoman. You don't have to do it all. Ask for help. It's called family for a reason. So ask your family members for help. Even the youngest family members can help you, right? So ask for help and don't feel that you have to do everything because that's just going into performance mode. That's just putting yourself under unnecessary pressure that can ultimately, cause you to feel burnt out. So ask for help. Um, and delegate, 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 delegate. I call delegating is like that's just a multiplication of yourself. So delegate as much as possible. And even though, between now and Christmas can be very packed and busy and all those, schedule regular, activities. Maybe a quiet evening. You don't have to be preparing every single night. Maybe take one evening and just relax, run a bath, whatever it is, or just be still. Learn to be still for a moment. So choose between now. Christmas is next week, Monday. So choose it, choose a time between now and Christmas Day and keep that to yourself. It's like keep the Sabbath, right? Have a rest day in between, honoring those that we have lost, and the memories. And I think we all probably would know somebody that, we may have lost them. For example, it can be a reminder of those that we loved that are not here. So how do we honor them? How do you include them in your celebrations? Right. For our family, we've suffered a great, great, great loss this year. And so we as a family, we're actually going to be walking through that. Um, and how we've been going about that is we're looking at, okay, what did Granny used to love, for example, some of the food, how she made it. I'm not a great cook, even though, I like to think some days that I'm a great cook. But it's like finding her recipe book for like chestnut stuffing. So it saves the benefit is that it saves me time having to go on Google and trying to find this recipe and all of those things is like, where's Granny's recipe for what do you call it, chestnut stuffing, use that, make that. So again, it's a way of being able to honor her memory, including, and allowing ourselves to go through the time where we can still be joyful, we can still be happy with one another, even though we have that loss in our lives. But guess what? We use Granny's recipe. So I don't know how it works for you, but you can look at, traditions, for example, or just take a moment to remember, that person, the person of prayer, and then just say a prayer for the whole family, for all of you there, and just, express gratitude to God for keeping you, giving you the opportunity to be together, because we have to always look at the glass half full, not half empty, half full. So even though we've lost, or we have lost, and we're sad and grieving all of those things, we can still find strength in the fact that we have life, we have each other, and that in itself is a great, great gift. Okay. Another way, practical, is share stories. um share stories at the table, or as you're preparing, because it's a great, great way to bring healing to each other, and also to give strength to each other. So try that and let me know how that goes. Now, number 4 is simplifying for authentic joy. How can we truly be joyful? Sometimes the true joy of the season is found in simplicity. I think all times you can find joy when you make life simple. So reduce the clutter, focus on what truly, truly, truly brings joy, what truly um empowers others, what truly helps others, adds value to others, right? Let go of one thing that is burdensome. I think we can all find something in our lives, or something particularly around this week going up to Christmas, that is burdensome to us, and just let it go. Just learn to let go and be. Okay. um, what activities resonate with the spirit of Christmas? For us as people of faith, it's celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ and all that it means and stands for us. So, what is the spirit? What does that resonate for us? It's gratitude, it's new birth, new beginnings, you name it. It's you can make that list for yourself, right? And spend time with the family, or just enjoy being with each other. So simplify, 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 simplify. I can't emphasize that enough, and learn to let go. Number 5 is connecting and reaching out. The power of connecting during this time is immense. It's a time to strengthen the bonds that we have, and to reach out to those that might feel isolated. Now, they might be family members, or they might be your neighbors, or they might just be, friends. I think a great awareness as you're going about, maybe doing your Christmas shopping or grocery or whatever, is pay attention to people around you, particularly maybe the elderly, and try and reach out, be available, be present, be in the moment, be a bridge to them, be a smile to them, be a helping hand to them, be somebody that sees them, noticed them, right, and paid attention to them. Now, if they're family or friends that you haven't spoken to in a while, then reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be a Christmas card. You can send a text or a voice note. I love voice notes. Send a voice note to them, and just wish them joy, or just check in on them, see how they're doing. Right. So, practical tip: technology, technology, technology. Use it to your advantage. Record a video message, or send a voice note, or if you can get there in person, then get there in person. If you can't, and then it's simply being a person that has heightened awareness, and be present, be in the moment, see others around you, see where the need is, and be purpose in your heart that you're going to be the bridge for that person. Finally, prepare for a hopeful future. It's Christmas. It's the greatest story of all time. It's the greatest time, right? So as the year winds down, as the week before Christmas is upon us. It's a perfect time to start looking forward with hope, setting intentions for the new year ahead of us. Reflect on, what has been your aspirations, or what is or are your aspirations for the new year. Just jot them down, because just thinking about stuff doesn't make anything happen, right? So think about it, and then go beyond just thinking about it and write these down, right? Write these down so that they become solid, 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 and it's in front of you. It can be on your radar, right? Create a vision board if you can, or at least, write them down. What is a list of something, your resolutions? I think we all set New Year's resolutions for 1.5 days, and then after that, it's like fizz, fizz, fizz. It's out of the window, right? But you can do this. It's like, divide the year into four. Between now, January to March, what is the one thing I'm just going to let go? What is the habits that is choking you? It's going to stop you from being able to reach, and fulfill your purpose and your destiny, right? It comes down to our habits and our actions, because our habits then flow into our character. So check habit that you can drop, one a quarter, or maybe just two habits, one for the first half of the year, another one for the second half. It doesn't matter, as long as you're working towards dropping those habits and replacing them with good ones, then you're on your way to winning. So, um, I hope that you've taken something from this episode. Really, I just wanted to remind us that the week before Christmas is multifaceted. Oh, and there's my clock going. Um, um, this episode is really just to help us to remember that this week is multifaceted. It's okay to feel a range of emotions, and it's important to balance, the festivities, all the things we've got to do with really taking care of ourselves. And yes, it's okay to pause and remember those that we've lost, and find a way of, bringing healing to each other as a family, as a community. Simplify, 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 so that you can remain in authentic joy, because joy is a state, joy is a choice, that you choose to be joyful or you choose to lose your joy. Of course, things will come and try to knock your joy off, but it's a choice that I'm going to choose to stay joyful. Connecting with the others is very vital. Look forward to the future with hope that sets the stage for a positive year. And don't forget that it's a time that we can be meaningful in our preparations, in being out and about. We can see others, and I mean like really, really see people. It's time for great connections, deep connections, hopeful anticipation. And I do hope that this is giving you a little bit of hope, and it will help you to find the strength and come out of the, overwhelm, be joyful, and get all your stuff organized before the Christmas day arrives. Let me know, what else do you do? How else do you manage, this specific week before Christmas? Maybe put it in the comments, or just write to us and let us know. Until we come your way again, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. All the very best to you, your family. Thank you so much for your incredible support to us here at Nations of Women. And I look forward to our next time together. Take care. Bye bye. And that's all for this week. You've been listening to Dr. Tina Allton with the Now Talks, the weekly podcast for women in leadership, brought to you by Nations of Women. All that remains is for me to say, have a fantastic week, stay safe, and reach out if you need any help now at nationsofwomen.com. Until next time, enjoy the pursuit of your potential, and remember, now is your time.